Let's talk about menu innovation, a top focus for restaurant operators who remain challenged to not only craft tasty dishes, but dishes that drive distinctive dining experiences without supersizing the menu. Looking at the market, it's not hard to understand why they want to do that. Restaurants need dishes that are versatile, healthy, and sustainable, all attributes that seafood brings to a menu.
When you just kind of have more in your toolkit, whether it's substituting, the more common ones like salmon or tuna, branching into things like, crustaceans, mollusks, and still see the appeal that consumers have for it and the demand that they have for it, I think we're going to see more experimentation and more menu innovation.
I'm Diana Blass, and this is Industry Voices. On this episode, we chat with Mark Brando, the Associate Director of Research and Insights at Informa Food Service. He weighs in about his latest report, the 2024 State of the Seafood Market.
So we developed a survey about the state of the seafood market and operators' preferences for putting seafood on the menu, things that they're looking for from their suppliers. So we combined that with research available to us from Technomic. We were able to look at thousands of menus at restaurants across every segment across the country. And so it shouldn't surprise anybody that seafood is popular in the restaurant industry among not just operators, but also consumers. It does tend to be more widely in use in independents and full service. But it's not like it is missing from quick service and fast casual either.
Now, you say there's untapped opportunities at those establishments. Tell us more.
Seafood is really, really great when you can highlight the versatility that it naturally has. So if I already do a pretty nice business in sandwiches, if you do a lot of, subs and hoagies, well, you could probably execute, a po' boy really well if you have, a good supply of shrimp or other, seafood that is good fried. The main protein topping a salad is another great place where seafood can make a lot of sense.
Now, despite that strong demand for seafood, there's no denying that restaurant operators continue to be pinched by high food costs. But your report points out value is more than just cost. So how can menu makers overcome the cost barriers associated with seafood in order to meet the demand for it?
By far, the biggest impediment right now is food cost. About half of operators said, if there were any barrier to either having seafood on my menu at all or increasing my use of it, their biggest concern is food cost. Certainly, they're looking for options from their seafood suppliers that might be at a lower price point. So if I can't quite get all the way to a king salmon, help me find in terms of maybe something like coho or amberjack. But even when there are cases where some things are a little bit harder to source, operators are more than open to procuring them frozen as opposed to, fresh. And often that's a way to help out on things like food cost, on availability.
Right. Well, as we chat about all the benefits of seafood, it's clear that restaurants shouldn't limit them to their dishes. The report points out that restaurant operators have a unique marketing advantage to promote seafood in their menu descriptions. Tell us more.
It's really, really nice to have something like seafood with so many inherent attributes that are really appealing. So I think that most consumers really understand the healthfulness of seafood, the fact that it's best when, it can be, touted as wild caught, fresh. I also think that there's been a much longer established movement towards sustainable fishing. We're a lot more open, I think, to some substitution from types of fish to the other. The last part that's a big opportunity, especially for full service, is highlighting the geographic origin of where these things come from. There's so much great seafood that comes from Alaska, from the northern Pacific, around the Arctic region. On the menu, you should really be training your staff to talk that up as much as you would train your back of house staff to know how to prepare it.
Great. Well, thank you so much for your time today, Mark. Clearly, there are a ton of ways for restaurant operators to innovate with seafood, and no shortage of fish either. From shrimp to whitefish to even crab items, the report sheds light on a rising demand for all types of seafood. And thanks to the innovation in frozen fish, diners can get a bite from Alaska, the home of fresh seafood, without leaving their home state. What's better than that, right? Well, for more information on how to cook all this seafood and prepare it, visit alaskaseafood.org and learn more at nationsrestaurantnews.com. Till next time, I'm Diana Blass.